Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hiya. Hiya.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
But the earth was without form, and darkness was upon the face of the deep.
And God said,
"Let there be light."
and there was light, and it was good.
And from the light came a tremendous supremacy, an almighty power. Mr. Matthew.
He called the night day, and the darkness he called night. And in the morning there was registration, and in the evening, bedtime.
And he created the sixth form centre and divided the upper six from the lower. And it was so. The sixth form centre was born.
That did not happen.
No, we were just joking.
We lied. It was actually the Big Bang.
A big bang! A big bang! A big bang of hammers nailing wood into the sixth form centre.
Good recovery, Bill.
Cheers. Moving on. You might be wondering why myself and James are even doing a speech.
We're not prefects, deputy head boys, or even head girls.
Yeah. Me, myself, and James have actually had a history of irrelevant, pointless, dramatic performances, haven't we, James?
Yeah, we usually just put it at the end somewhere.
We're just usually to fill in the end of any poorly timed event.
Make up the minutes.
Hey, you two, come here now. We finished 20 minutes early. Entertaining anyway. They're all pissed anyway. It's fine.
And so here we are.
Thoroughly unprepared. So you might be wondering that you might be thinking that we're not actually very good at starting our speech.
To be honest, we still haven't properly started.
Yeah, it's a bit more difficult for us. Why don't we try and answer some of the questions that the members of the sixth form have been asking?
What do you mean? Like, what is the meaning of life? When do we die? Stuff like that.
Nah! I mean, good questions like, what happens if you take the pool cue more than a metre away from the pool table?
A very good question.
Because I heard that Mr. Jackson is lost in history. He becomes but an irrelevant fact, lost in time.
I heard that in the chemistry labs, Mrs. Juniper spontaneously combusts.
Both very good possibilities.
Hey, baby.
But what actually happens is nothing. I believe it's just another pointless fact that the school has made to scare us.
Ah, yes. Just like the one where you can cross the road any way you like when going to St. John's. But if you want to come back the same way that you crossed to get there...
No. Illegal. Criminals do this. Imprisonment will follow of this insane, unthinkable act of lunacy.
Such a good speech.
Yeah, it's so
You
awesome.
do not cross back the way from which you came. It makes no sense.
On the plus side, the superiors at Rydal Penrose do try and make our lives very happy.
For example, as a sixth form community, we were asked what we would like to have to improve our sixth form centre.
After a few discussions, we came up with some ideas.
We were asked as a community again. we were told we could give £1 to the management committee, who would then pass the money on to the heads of sixth form.
The money, £160 to be exact, would then be used to buy some new stuff to try and make the boogie a bit more fun.
I ask you, where is that new stuff? Anyway, on a completely different note, I did notice that Dr. Edwards and Mr. Matthews were wearing rather fancy shoes tonight. Interesting, very interesting.
Anyway, moving on as swiftly as possible from that. Examination invigilators. These are a funny group of people. They're supposed to be monitoring a silent exam that decides where the loudest shoes are.
Yeah, so last year I'm sitting in my A-level examination for German, and all I hear is... I turned around from my desk expecting to see a horse trotting between the desks.
So really, it's the invigilator lending a pen to some clueless twit, thinking it's a good idea to write their exam in red crayon.
And I tell you what, another bloody annoying thing about exams, right? So you sit in an exam, and another group of students who are doing a completely different subject, yeah, they always finish half an hour before you do, right? And they are told, leave the room quietly. They do listen. They do it extremely well. They're professionals. But I tell you what, as soon as they leave the room, the selfish
William, what's your language?
But
they know, no swearing. Isn't that right, Mr. Ward?
That's Dr. Ward. He makes an extremely point about that. He's a doctor.
I see that.
Will, you're driving me mental.
Speaking of driving,
See what we did there?
see the link that we did?
Way!
So, driving to and from school. Now, I always thought that when I passed my driving test, I was free. I was free to roam the country in my car, in my little Mini. I was able to drive whenever I want, wherever I want. No. Illegal. Now, rival Penrose seem to think it's the new DVLA. Because once you have passed your driving test, you are not legally, by school rules, allowed to drive to and from school.
Firstly, you need a contract signed by you.
Your parents,
Passengers you're planning on taking.
their parents,
And then you've got to try and find Mr. Matthews and get his signature.
but the chances are that you're trying to avoid Mr. Matthews because you're taking the pull queue more than a metre away from the Ferguson side.
Absolute nightmare.
But if you manage to complete this challenge,
This mission,
you're going to want to take a break.
to put your feet up.
No. Illegal. Now, the sixth form centre does actually offer exceedingly comfortable sixth form centre sofas.
Perfect for a 5-minute rest.
So funny.
But,
Mr. Murphy,
Murphy,
how much would you pay for a 2-person sofa? 2 to 300 quid? Sounds about right, doesn't it?
do you know how much Mr. Matthews claims he paid for the sixth form centre sofas? Anyone? How much? You're totally wrong. £700.
For that money, you could
No, wait. He paid £700 and he bought 12 of these. Where's Peter? Pete Kirby. Where are you, mate? How much is that?
£8,400. For that money, you could go to Royal Penrose for a week.